Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to tonight's show. You know, tonight's show is so amazing. We're going to hear from a person that just really touched me personally, really inspired me. In fact, Diane Sawyer actually had this person on World News as the Person of the Week. And when I heard this story, it was just, I couldn't stop thinking about it. We had to have this person on the show. We're going to really learn about overcoming great obstacles. We're going to be inspired. We're going to learn about forgiveness. And we're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We have it all coming up right when we get back. Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready to take your business to a new level and improve your bottom line next month? Don't miss the Gulf Coast 2-day Geek Retreat, May 23rd and 24th. Learn how to double your sales, how to raise capital in a tight lending market, and 15 productivity tools that will improve profitability. Your business and customers will thank you. Check out www.strategiesbootcamp.com for details. This is the one seminar that will dramatically affect your bottom line. Special pricing is available at strategiesbootcamp.com. The 2-day Geek Retreat 2012. Don't miss it.
Real estate today offers incredible opportunities, low prices, and extremely low interest rates. Hi, I'm Amy Norris from Amy Sells the Beach. Right now, there are opportunities in all areas. Our team can help you put your money to work finding your dream or investment property. And if you're looking to sell, no one can give you better exposure to buyers and make your property stand out. Experience matters when looking for opportunity. I'm Amy Norris. See why we're #1 at amysellsthebeach.com.
When visiting Gulf Shores, Alabama, make sure to visit the Gulf Coast Zoo, home of the little zoo that could from Animal Planet. Get up close in our petting zoo. Enjoy our unique animal encounters. More than 300 monkeys, bears, reptiles, big cats, parrots, and more call Gulf Coast home. Come on, go wild at the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back. You know, Tom, I was explaining, we have an incredible show today, and it's glad to have you back as a co-host.
Oh, thanks. I love being here. It's great.
Well, I'll tell you, last time you were here, we were talking about getting in shape. I don't know if you can tell, but I've been running every day. I've been lifting weights. Got on the scale this morning. Nothing happened.
I got to tell you.
I'm not going to get discouraged.
You asked a good question. Don't know if I can tell. I can't tell.
Okay, well, perfect. That's why I have you as a friend. You're
right.
Very honest.
No,
well.
no. A lot more. I would say 2 centuries. It's
yeah,
gonna
okay.
Take about that long.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel that way.
And don't you feel good just starting? See, it's all about taking that first step.
You know, our guest tonight, Tom, I don't know if you know much about this story. Diane Sawyer had them on as Person of the Week, World ABC News. And it's unbelievable what this person has overcome and his attitude. It's amazing. So let's bring him out. I want to bring him out. Brryan Jackson, everybody.
Hi, Brryan.
Nice to meet you, man. Pleasure. Good-looking guy, too.
Thank you.
On this show, you know, I've already had a couple of the girls in the audience being like, is he coming back? So you never know here. But Brryan, you know, I was telling Tom here that your story is so unbelievable. When I heard it, I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I know many here watching tonight, as well as in our guest audience, have not heard your story. But if you don't mind, I just wanted to start from the beginning. If you could just tell us a little bit about how things got started and a little bit about your story.
When I was 11 months old, I was in the hospital due to asthma attacks. And my father, who worked as a phlebotomist, a blood technician, at another hospital in the area. He decided to steal HIV-tainted blood from the hospital, make a surprise visit to the hospital I was staying at. The reason why I say it was a surprise visit is because he wasn't a very active father, and he continuously denied that I was his son until a DNA test said otherwise, you know. And my mother had been up 24 hours the night before, making sure, you know, I was being taken care of. She was just hungry and tired, and all she wanted was a drink. So, you know, she asked him if he could go get her a drink, while, you know, and then he said, no, you go get a drink and I'll stay here and watch your son. And here's where it was predicted that he brought in his lab coat, because in his lab coat he had that HIV-tainted blood that he had stolen from the hospital. He takes it out and comes to my bedside, 11 months old, and intentionally injects me with the HIV virus, hoping I would die off. He'd never have to pay a dime in child support. Nobody would ever know it was him, and he would get away with it.
Wow.
The blood he also used was not my blood type, so right away my body went into shock. My mom came back. I was screaming and hollering, vital signs.
Going crazy. Mm-hmm.
Doctors coming rushing in. They're like, we got to get this kid to another hospital. I'm transferred to another hospital. About 24 hours, you know, the vital signs go back to normal, everything's stable. Doctors send me home saying, you know, I have asthma, but I should be able to live a normal, healthy life.
Right.
Or so they thought, until 1995, when I went from being this playful, happy, energetic 5-year-old to this bloated, vomity, sick kid, you know. My mother struggled to carry me to numerous doctor's appointments, begging the doctors to find out why her son was appearing near death.
Wow.
And they began testing me for disease after disease, even rare ones that only exist in other countries, or that were like dated back, you know, hundreds of years ago. You know.
I heard that they tried all these different things. That was really a mystery to doctors of figuring out what's wrong, because again, you're diagnosed with asthma, you go in there 11 months old, and your father's hiding this syringe with the HIV virus, injects you. But I don't think anybody initially thought of that. Is that right? They're testing you for all these other rare viruses.
The way I've heard it is that I'm the very first person to ever be intentionally injected with the HIV virus.
Wow. It's mind-boggling.
So,
it's hard to comprehend that somebody could be that, you know, deranged, I guess we could use the word. So you're 5 years old now, and how do they come up with, how do they figure it out?
So my mom's like, I remember, you know, his father talking about, you know, how he could use the virus to kill somebody and nobody would ever know it was him. You know, he'd always bring home blood samples, you know, that she found was a little odd. And so the doctors immediately tested me for HIV. The results came back. I was diagnosed with full-blown AIDS. They put me on 22 oral medications, 3 IV antibiotics, and 2 injections daily. And you have to know, this is 1995. The HIV virus just came around in the 80s.
Right.
And we're just now developing new drugs and new technology to deal with the virus. And so not everybody has access to this, even children. And so I kind of was the first kind of kid, you know, to kind of, you know, try out the HIV drugs, see how they work. One of the medications that I had for an opportunistic infection I had actually made me lose my hearing a bit.
Wow.
But, you know, the difference between HIV and AIDS is you contract the HIV virus, but once your T cells go below 200, then you become diagnosed with AIDS. I was diagnosed with AIDS, and once an AIDS patient, always an AIDS patient, no matter how healthy or you get. And when I was diagnosed, my T cell count was 0. Just ready, had 3 opportunistic infections, just ready to go. Doctor said, we're giving you 5 months, go home, have a good life.
Make arrangements, be prepared for the worst.
So mom's, you know, sudden in funeral plans. Just this past year, you know, she told me how realistic, you know, and how prepared they were getting. You know, she had the suit that I was going to wear.
So your mother literally was told at 5 years old, I know we talked about it, that he'll never make his 6th birthday, I believe is what they said, and you know, make arrangements because this is his T count, it's just, he's not going to make it, right? So, and now, if you mind telling us your age now, Brryan?
I just turned 21.
Just turned 21.
This past February. So.
Wow, isn't that amazing? Just turned 21. You defied all odds. Wow. That's unbelievable. So, I mean, your mother, I want to attribute to your mother, she must be an amazing person as well, because the mental roller coaster that she went through with this, just trying, I mean, I have a 4-year-old right now, and imagining playing this thing out, it would be unbelievable. I wouldn't even know how to approach it.
So, Brryan, let me ask you, at this point, you're 21. Everybody here is delighted you're 21. Where are you in terms of your T count now, your CD4 ratio, from the standpoint of treatment?
My T cell count has been back up above 200, but I'm still diagnosed with AIDS. It's kind of like, you know, when you get in a car accident, you know, and you get your car repaired, you know, just because your car looks brand new, you know, it was
still on the
accident,
report
you know.
somewhere. Now, I know that you, your father, they got back to the bottom of it. They found out what he did, and I want to find out a little bit more about what happened to him when we come back. Stay with us.
Are you ready to take your business to a new level and improve your bottom line next month? Don't miss the Gulf Coast 2-day Geek Retreat, May 23rd and 24th. Learn how to double your sales, how to raise capital in a tight lending market, and 15 productivity tools that will improve profitability. Your business and customers will thank you. Check out www.strategiesbootcamp.com for details. This is the one seminar that will dramatically affect your bottom line. Special pricing is available at strategiesbootcamp.com. The 2-day Geek Retreat 2012, don't miss it.
Real estate today offers incredible opportunities, low prices, and extremely low interest rates. Hi, I'm Amy Norris from Amy Sells the Beach. Right now, there are opportunities in all areas. Our team can help you put your money to work finding your dream or investment property. And if you're looking to sell, no one can give you better exposure to buyers and make your property stand out. Experience matters when looking for opportunity. I'm Amy Norris. See why we're #1 at amysellsthebeach.com.
When visiting Gulf Shores, Alabama, make sure to visit the Gulf Coast Zoo, home of the little zoo that could from Animal Planet. Get up close in our petting zoo. Enjoy our unique animal encounters. More than 300 monkeys, bears, reptiles, big cats, parrots, and more call Gulf Coast home. Come on, go wild at the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo.
Welcome back. Now, Brryan, we wanted to talk to you about your father. I know that there was a big thing going on about getting to, proving that your dad did it. And do you want to tell us the outcome of what happened to him?
My doctor called in to the police, reported it. So they went to his workplace, and right after he finished his shift, he came out and they arrested him right then and there. And he was charged with assault, and the judge gave him, the jury found him guilty of all charges, and the judge sentenced him to life in prison. Life in prison.
Did he ever admit to the, doing it, or?
He has not. I mean, the entire trial, just watching tapes and looking back on that, and from what I remember, sometime after he went to prison, his lawyer called in a favor to news segment, and he came out and he said he's sorry for it, but he continued to say that he didn't do it.
Well, let me ask you, has he ever tried to reach out to you over the years? And if he did, how would you feel about that?
He has not tried to reach out. I would not have a relationship with him. I mean, I have forgiven my father. And see, forgiveness is a beautiful thing. And forgiveness is not about the person you're forgiving. It's about yourself. Because when you hold a grudge against somebody, you're carrying the burden,
Yeah.
not the other person. They're going on.
It doesn't hurt them at all.
It doesn't hurt them at all,
Yeah.
that you're mad at them or And so the thing about forgiveness is just giving up whatever problem you have, situation, and giving up and saying, I'm removing myself from the situation. I'm moving on. I would not let this situation control me, define me, because, I know I have greater potential than that,
Yeah.
So I got to move on with my own life.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I'm giving this situation up, maybe to a higher being, just giving it up and saying, it will be dealt with.
Right.
But don't forget, because, life isn't about living on the edge. It's about, protecting yourself. Let's say your significant other cheats on you, you hold a grudge and then you forgive them and then you forget about that. Well, you're kind of setting the same situation up again,
Yeah.
You kind of have to, somebody breaks in your house, you're not just going to say, oh, somebody broke in my house. No, you're going to go get like some deadbolts, maybe some security cameras.
Take some actions.
Take some actions,
Right.
and be careful. Be, ready for the next time, and so.
But don't live in fear and let it control your life either.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
So that's where the forgiveness comes in, and I have forgiven my father, but, I have not forgotten what he has done.
Sure.
And that will always, I will always be reminded of what he has done.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, Brryan, you're a great young man, a great example. I mean, better than I'm not sure if I could say I could forgive something like that. It's an amazing lesson for all of us. And somebody asked me earlier, how has he gotten through all this? And the answer, I think I know, that you've just not let it define you as a person, and you've moved on. I know that you're majoring. You're in college, is that right?
Yes.
And you're majoring in
communications and sociology with a minor in political science.
Minor in political science. I think you told me backstage you have the aspirations of becoming a politician. Is that right?
I hope I can become, the future president of the United States
of
of
well,
America.
hey. So, way to think big.
I'll see if I can talk him out of that.
Yeah, Tom, work on that, won't you?
Yeah,
Well, you're a great inspiration to all of us, Brryan. We really appreciate you. You've certainly taught us all a lesson about forgiveness and hope, and we hope you come back. I know you have a book coming out as well this fall, I Exist. Is that right? Tell us a little bit about the book. Is it kind of more of an autobiographical book about your story, or?
I would say, it's going to be autobiographical, kind of a journal, walking through the emotions and the events that took place, and just overcoming those events and moving forward, and finding hope, and believing that hope is real. I mean, we come into life, being held, and then we take baby steps, then one step at a time. Before you know it, we're going to have to take giant leaps of faith. But where is our foundation when we can't make it to the other side? And that is hope. People can take from it and, start taking action in their life, not letting their past, define who they are, and they can move forward and say, the past is the past. Today's a new day. The storms have gone. The storms have washed everything away.
Move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we certainly look forward to the book due out this fall. And tell us real quick, we have a second left, about your charity.
Hope is Vital.
Yep.
When at the age of 13, I began public speaking, going to Washington and lobbying.
At 13?
At 13.
Wow.
Having a congressional briefing, and one congressional briefing, I noticed that we, HIV has always kind of had a bad name. And so I stood before Congress and I said, I'm bringing a new meaning to HIV, just a new thing. And I said, it's going to be called Hope is Vital now. HIV, Hope is Vital.
Wow.
And, since then, I've made promises to people, that I will be the voice until they have a voice of their own. And so what Hope is Vital does is gives me the platform to educate people about the HIV virus, as well as share my story, and hope, that people find blessings in life, and also, you know, the stigma of the virus goes away.
Yeah, sounds like you have a great platform. You're going to be a voice to millions of people, Brryan. And again, you're a real inspiration to us, and we hope we have you back on the show, and come back anytime, please, man. You're a great guy. We vote for you, so great guy.
Good man. Good man.
Stick with us. We're going to have the business point of the day when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready to take your business to a new level and improve your bottom line next month? Don't miss the Gulf Coast 2-day Geek Retreat, May 23rd and 24th. Learn how to double your sales, how to raise capital in a tight lending market, and 15 productivity tools that will improve profitability. Your business and customers will thank you. Check out www.strategiesbootcamp.com for details. This is the one seminar that will dramatically affect your bottom line. Special pricing is available at strategiesbootcamp.com. The 2-day Geek Retreat 2012. Don't miss it.
Real estate today offers incredible opportunities, low prices, and extremely low interest rates. Hi, I'm Amy Norris from Amy Sells the Beach. Right now, there are opportunities in all areas. Our team can help you put your money to work finding your dream or investment property. And if you're looking to sell, no one can give you better exposure to buyers and make your property stand out. Experience matters when looking for opportunity. I'm Amy Norris. See why we're #1 at amysellsthebeach.com.
When visiting Gulf Shores, Alabama, make sure to visit the Gulf Coast Zoo, home of the little zoo that could from Animal Planet. Get up close in our petting zoo. Enjoy our unique animal encounters. More than 300 monkeys, bears, reptiles, big cats, parrots, and more call a Gulf Coast home. Come on, go wild at the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo.
Thanks for sticking with us. Welcome back. You know, of something that really, that Brryan mentioned when we were talking that really stuck with me, I was thinking about it in application to business, and what you said was about letting something define you. And I know in business, a lot of times, or in life, we have something that happens. Maybe it's unfortunate, maybe it's not fair, but we really let it define us as people. In fact, I know a guy that started a multi-million-dollar business in Southern California, and had a couple of partners. They got up to, I think, $10 million a month coming in. It was just this amazing dream come true. And he says, I knew there was a problem the day that the other two partners pulled both up in Ferraris. And he says, and it was shortly after that they took all the money and all those things. And you know, that happened. It's unfortunate, and those things happen a lot in business. We read of the Enrons and all the companies that, you know, they attract people that do some really jiggy stuff. But again, when those things happen, we can't let it define us. And you know, I've talked to this person over and over, and his shtick is, when you meet him, it's kind of like, well, let me tell you my story. Here's what happened to me. And that almost becomes their shtick. And he says, you know, I'm so fortunate that I have so many great friends. When I talk to people, they always ask me how I'm doing. Some even customers, how you doing? And they really care about me. And I say, well, do you find it odd that your customers actually say, I'm not doing ready to do business, but I'm just checking on you. How you doing? I said, it seems like you're being known for the guy that you know, is crying over spilt milk. You know, you're known as the guy that was damaged. Mm-hmm. Do you really want that reputation to define you as a person? And I said, maybe you should think about what you're giving off to other people. And you know, living in the community, it's our responsibility to not just take from the community, but do something and contribute to the community. And you know, all of us have had things that have happened to us, some deserved, some not deserved, and certainly in your case, you know, not deserved. But we can't let it define us as people to be known as the guy that had this unfortunate thing. And you know, with all that you've done, I know we were talking during the break of things you've already accomplished, groups that you've already spoke in front of. You've been public speaking since you were 13. it's just an incredible example of not letting something define us. And then your aspirations now are big aspirations, and I know they're going to work out for you. And I think that the way that you've been able to do a lot of this is just having that strong mental disposition. You know, I think the worst thing that people can do, a doctor will say, well, you have, and I know you've seen this many times, Tom, is, you know, you have 6 months to live. And when they kind of put that toe tag on you, say, this is how much time, humans have a lot of times we have the inclination, or a lot of times we kind of accept those things. And we say, I guess I got 6 months. And once we start accepting it, it becomes a reality. And in business, same thing. You know, I know that we'll have business coaches, and I've actually coached many companies where I'll say, you know, maybe I shouldn't have said, but I think according to your numbers, you're about 8 months from being out of business. And sure enough, a lot of times it becomes a reality. And although that was the fact, I think a lot of it is their belief becomes, well, I'm going to be out of business anyways. And I think it dictates to their actions. Their actions start changing. And what I like about your story, Brryan, is I think when you know, you're 5, 6, 7 years old, you're kind of starting to understand the scope of what's really happening. You and your mother, I think that you say, you know what, that's not good enough. You know, not seeing his 6th birthday, we're not accepting that. And being a sick kid and letting this thing define me, that's something we're not going to accept, and we're going to change it. And certainly you've changed it for yourself, and you've become this platform that's, I think, going to help millions of people change it as well. In fact, talking about a strong mental disposition, I actually give a couple of talks on how your mental controls your physical. And, you know, we read articles of people that, you know, there's very precarious situations where people will rip car doors off to save their children, and they have all these amazing things. And if you can get your mind to this certain place, it really does, your mental does dictate to your physical. It controls what our physical abilities are and what our limitations are. And when we're actually setting business marks and we say, here's what I'm going to accomplish, a lot of times our physical says, I can't do that, and we start believing it, and we actually can't do it. And if we can go on with a stronger mental disposition and say, you know what, I'll figure it out, I can do it, a lot of times it actually dictates to our physical and says, do this instead of that. It actually helps us, and we can accomplish things that we just aren't possible to even accomplish, not only in life, such as yourself, but in business. So try that at home, give it a roll. When you can do that, you're on to something. But remember, your mental does control your physical. Certainly in Brryan's case here, he's overcome great obstacles, and I know it's that strong mental disposition, and he's a pretty good-looking fellow too. That doesn't hurt, right? Brryan, thank you so much for being on the show. Come back anytime, my friend. Come back anytime. Amazing story. That's our show for tonight, guys. Don't forget to get involved in your local community and be forgiving of others. Good night, everybody.